So guys, today let's make a ruffle rose. Okay, I am using this velvet fabric to do this rose. You can use it to design your clothes, make a design on whatever clothes you are doing. So this velvet, we all know that it's a very stretchy fabric based on how you folded it while you are cutting it. So I'll be cutting about 3 stripes for this. So I have the length of one of the stripe is about 53.7 inches. Yeah, it's 53.7 inches. So I'll be cutting of this, and the wideness is about 5.7 inches. If I fold it up, it's going to be um 2.7 inches. After stitching it, we come back to 2.3 inches on fold, because I'm going to close it like this and stitch it up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run a stitch on it, but before doing that, this is the fabric I'll be using. It's same velvet, and the cover of this is, I'm going to be using it to draw my cycle for this. And I have gone ahead and iron strong interfacing on this velvet, because we all know that it's a stretchy fabric, and while getting my circle, the fabric will not be able to hold it. Okay, so that is why I iron this interfacing, for me to be able to get my circle very well. And if you want to make this type of ruffle rose, if your fabric is not strong, is just light, you can go ahead and iron maybe light interfacing on your own, and it will give you that standing. Okay, so I'll be placing this cover cap like so and get my cycle. This, I don't want big cycle for this, because this tutorial is on based on the last tutorial I posted on how to make a gather overlapping gown. And if you watch that video, you notice that I use this rose on it. So because of time, I couldn't teach how to get this rose ruffle. That is why I'm making this tutorial. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut, as you can see here. And please, while cutting your circle, make sure you cut two pieces for your cycle. One is for the turning up, like it will serve as a lining for the circle. And if you want to iron interfacing on your own, make sure you use a light interface. But if your fabric is good enough to give you what you want, don't iron interfacing. So this interfacing, it has finished its work. It's no longer of use. I'm going to go ahead and remove it, then throw it away. It's no longer of use. Now this is it. The next thing to do right now is to get the midpoint of this cycle. To get the midpoint of this cycle, if you like, you can hem this round. If you don't want to hem it, you can leave it like this, because the mouth of velvet will not be peeling up. Now watch careful to see how I folded this to get my midpoint. I folded it like so, and again fold it this way to get the midpoint of this cycle. Here is the midpoint of the cycle, and I'm going to mark it with my marker. It's not showing. I'm going to go ahead and use the yellow chalk for this. I'm trying to remove some chalk to apply it there so that you can see it very well. I think this is better. And here is our midpoint. Now on this midpoint, I'm going to be making a cycle starting from that midpoint to get our spiral. Okay, I'll be making the spiral curve like so. I'll start from the midpoint, but before that I want to make use of the interfacing I threw away so that it will give the velvet a little bit make it to be strong. So I will start getting my spiral, and if you watch closely you can see the color of the marker that I'm using there. So I'll be using about 0.7 inches to do this cycle. You can make use of your tape, marking out the 0.7 inches before you make this curvy out. From there, from the starting point to the second line, I made this 0.7 inches, and I will continue like that till I get to the end of it. I'll continue like that. From here to here, 0.7, from the other end to the other end, 0.7 inches gap. I'll continue. I don't know if you're seeing it very well. So this is the end, and it's going to be the starting point of this. Let me bring it closer. You can see it. This is it. This is the cycle curve. You can see the starting point, the midpoint over there, and I started this way, moving like so, moving this way until I stop here. Okay, so this is how our rose is going to go around this cycle. So again, the interfacing work is over here. You can see this cycle. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and fold this fabric into two and stitch it up. I'll be running a stitch on it. Then on this edge part, I'll be running a stitch this way. Then on this edge side, the two end, I'm going to go ahead and give it like slanty curve, like a slanty shape curve. Okay, so I'll be placing the two together like this. I'm trying to arrange it. I'll just come down a bit, like about 1.5 inches. I'll mark it there, 1.5 inches, and get the slant shape or curvy shape. Bring it down to the place I mark 1.5 inches, then cut it out. I don't want this edge or this end to look straight. I want it to be a little bit slanty. So now here is it. I will close it, run a stitch on it, leaving about 2.5 to 3 inches for my turning up. So I'll be doing that on the 3 stripe I cut out because I needed 3 rows. Now I am done running a stitch, and you can see that I have turned it up, and this is it. Then the place I used to turn it up, I just fold it inward and stitch on top of it. So here is how we are going to be making the ruffle. the place that I run a stitch, I'll put it down first, starting on the last cycle I made. This is my thread and needle, so I'm going to be stitching it like so. It's just a DIY something. If you like, you can go ahead and run it on your sewing machine. You can stitch it on your sewing machine, but if you don't have a sewing machine, you can use your thread and needle and do it like this. So I'll be following the cycle that I made. I'll be following it, stitching it like the way we normally run a stitch on a dress. That is it. And another thing you can do to this fabric, the one you cut out for your rose ruffle, you can go ahead and make a little gather on it. Like if you have a lot of enough fabric, you can cut a very long fabric and gather it. After gathering it, you can begin to do it this ruffle like this. It will also look beautiful, but I don't have enough fabric on this. That is why I'm using the one I have to make this rose. So I'll be going ahead stitching it like so, round 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 and round until we get to the inner part. So guys, we have come to the almost the inner part of it. When you come to this part, this is how you're going to stitch it. If you watch closely, you see that the stripe, it's already remaining a little fabric on it. So I'm going to roll it this way and put it inside like you see me doing it. I just roll the remaining one and put it inside. After arranging it very well, after arranging it inside, make sure that your finger, one of your finger, can be able to go inside. Just arrange it very well, then use your thread and needle and tag it. That is just all, guys. That is just all. After arranging it, use your thread and needle and tag it. This is it, all about it. It's just very simple, very easy to make. You can do tiny rows this way. So this is all about rose ruffle. Thank you guys for watching. Okay, if you have any question, just drop it here on the comment section